Hello and welcome back to 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long, and joining me to talk about a recap of Michigan Wolverines versus the Iowa Hawkeyes is our host, Mr. Logan Landers. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's up, Jeremiah? Talking about the Big Ten championship game between the number 2 ranked Michigan Wolverines and the number 13th ranked Iowa Hawkeyes. Bit of a blowout in this one. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer, but man, it's still a good game nonetheless. Can't wait to talk about it and how good Michigan looked headed into that college football playoff, man. I can't wait to get into it.
Absolutely. And for everybody watching at home, thank you so much for watching us live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, and for listening to our podcast every single day and every single week with over 500 episodes now published and a whole plethora of new episodes coming every single week. Well, Mr. Logan Landers, tell us what happened in this Michigan versus Iowa game and what was so exciting about this ending to the regular season?
Well, I mean, the final score was pretty telling. Iowa Hawkeyes, 3. Michigan Wolverines, 42. So an easy win, a big win. I was not expecting it to be this much of a blowout. I didn't want it to be. I wanted this one to be a little bit closer, obviously. But first off, congrats to Michigan, the Wolverines. You've won the Big Ten championship, the first one in school history since 2004. It's been a long time coming. We know Ohio State's been running that territory for a while. Wisconsin, Penn State. But it's back to the Wolverines. It's been, 17, 18 years now, and they are champions once again and looking tremendous heading into that college football playoff. They're going to be facing Georgia in the Orange Bowl. I can't wait to watch that one. But let's talk about this game here. And if you're Iowa, tough loss. It was a tough loss, of course, but still a very good season. Let's not forget Iowa was a top 5 team at one point in this college football season. So I mean, it was a tough loss. You lost the big game, but don't hang your head. It was still a tremendous season. They still went 10-3, which is a very good record, but just was not able to get it done today. But let's talk about the Hawkeyes. Like I said, not much offense going on, not much defense getting played either. Altogether, as a team, 19 of 38 passing, 175 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception. Spencer Petras couldn't get nothing going. Alex Padilla couldn't get much going either. The running game, they were able to get a little bit, 104 yards as a team, 12 carries for 56 yards for Gavin Williams, 18 carries for 50 yards for Tyler Goodson, but still not much going on. Couldn't even get a touchdown on the board. So that Michigan Wolverines defense, which we've hyped up for weeks now here on this show, weeks and months, it paid off big time here in the championship game. The receiving corps, Sam Laporta, 6 catches for 62. And Charlie Jones, 2 catches for 41. Those are the leaders there. The defense, like I said, not a whole lot getting played, but Jack Kerner led the way with 8 tackles. Kayvon Merriweather right behind him with 6. They were able to get 1 sack on the day thanks to Seth Benson, 3 tackles for loss. And Jack Campbell and Jamari Harris were both able to get an interception on the day, but it unfortunately did not lead to points. But overall, man, Iowa, like I said, they weren't able to get a whole lot going. They just got stuffed each and everywhere they went. When they ran the ball, it didn't work. When they threw the ball, it didn't work. Special teams, not much going on much there either. But like I said, don't hang your head on this loss. Still a very, very good season. A lot to improve on. And hopefully in 2022, they can get back to their dominance. And, we might get a rematch next year in the Big Ten championship between these two teams. I would love to see that. And maybe have definitely a closer game and a more competitive matchup. But overall, Iowa, still very good season. Don't hang your head on this. Now, for the Wolverines, they did it, Jeremiah. They have, I think, maybe snapped their streak of just Coach Harbaugh. We know he's not had it. Since he's been there, they've been kind of underwhelming. They've had good seasons, but they have, this is their first championship under him. This is their first kind of big win. And, beating Ohio State, and now you've won your championship game. Now you're going to the college football playoff as the number 2 ranked team in the country. There's a lot of hype around them, and rightfully so. Michigan did a tremendous job in this game, obviously putting up 42 points and only allowing 3. You're doing something right on both ends of the ball. Cade McNamara, 16 of 24, 169 yards passing, one touchdown, 1 INT. Donovan Edwards got in there for a touchdown. The running game really did a great job. Blake Corum, Hassan Haskins ran the ball a good bit. They had 3 touchdowns between both of them. As a team, they ran for 34 times, 211 yards, 4 touchdowns. The receiving core, Roman Wilson, 2 catches for 82. Eric All, 2 catches for 43 and a touchdown. Luke Schumacher, 2 for 49. So, I mean, they were just doing everything they wanted to on offense and the defense, man. What more can you say about this Michigan defense? Absolutely horrifying, and what a just nightmare for opposing offenses. Josh Ross, 9 tackles for him. Vincent Gray, 5 tackles. Brad Hawkins, Daxton Hill, of course, Aiden Hutchinson. Of course, you can't talk about Michigan without talking about them. The heart and soul in that defense. 4 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. He won the MVP for this game, and rightfully so. He was a threat. I mean, they looked as good as you could ever think so. Caden Coulter had had an interception on the day, and they were looking as dominant as ever. They just Iowa could not get anything going offensively, defensively, you name it. They just struggled moving the ball anytime, and that's why they got the win in this game. They had more first downs, they had more yards. They just looked like the better team, and there's a reason now that they're going to be going up against Georgia in the Orange Bowl, and Iowa's going to be watching them from home. They dominated these last few games. They've looked really good. And now we get the defensive battle we've all talked about in our in fantasy football and stuff like that. We've all been like, man, I wonder what would happen if Michigan, who has that stifling defense, going up against Georgia, who's also has the number 1 ranked defense. They had a tough week against Alabama, but I mean, who doesn't? So we'll see. The battle of the top 2 defenses in college football are going to be going at it pretty soon. I can't wait to watch that. But overall for this one, man, congrats to Michigan. Your first Big Ten championship since 2004. It's been quite a while. I know all the Wolverine fans were happy to celebrate this one. Coach Harbaugh, I know he was happy. And now on to bigger and better things if you're Michigan. And if you're Iowa, hey, don't hang your head. Next season, we could be talking about this very same matchup, and it could be going a different way, though. So a good ball game. I can't wait to see Michigan advance in that college football playoff and see how they do against the Dogs at UGA.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be amazing matchups. We still got some great games to look forward to. Mm-hmm. And it's just great to see somebody like Michigan really showing their dominance. They convincingly beat, Ohio State. That was a clincher. And so when they came through it, with this one, just completely demolished and just showed their true dominance, that's what you want to see in a team that's going to be in that Final Four. So Michigan, keep doing your thing. Iowa, great into your season. At least you fought for every single minute of it that you could. It may not have been the perfect score, but what a great way to end out a great season. And it's just great to see both teams, doing their best in this particular game. Well, everybody watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, thank you so much for watching us live. And everybody who's listening to our podcast, thank you again. But if you're not listening to our podcast, come and join us. We are at 100 yards of football anywhere that you listen to podcasts, including on Spotify, over on Apple Podcast, or anywhere that you love to listen to podcasts. We have amazing episodes, not just game recaps and not just game previews, not just team previews, but also interviews with legendary players, incredible history specials that cover the greatest teams, the greatest players, and the greatest coaching staffs throughout the ages, and just an incredible array of amazing episodes that you can listen to anytime. So that's one of the things that we love to bring you is evergreen content that you can listen to year after year and month after month, and it's never going to get old or stagnant. And we keep you up to date with the freshest, newest things going on at the same time. So that is how we keep our balance here and how we keep you super informed, no matter whether you're listening to the newest previews or we're in the off season getting ready for the next games to come up. So for the entire team here, including our host, Logan Landers, I'm your producer, Jeremiah Long, and you've been listening to our recap of Michigan versus Iowa. We'll be back this evening with another live episode.